Alright, hey guys, welcome to another video. We're gonna finally do this exhaust review. Now, before I get started, I just want to go through kind of basically what you're expecting in this video. I'm gonna just talk about the installation, the overall sound, and just kind of the fit and finish and everything. As you guys probably know, I have a Remus exhaust, and I've waited this long to make a review for this exhaust because I wanted just to have enough experience with the exhaust and kind of figure out everything and see if there's any issues with the exhaust or any issues with the installation. And yeah, so I guess we'll jump right into it. Impressions. Love it, really do. And you guys are probably wondering now, so now I guess we'll just talk about installation. So installation was pretty easy. It wasn't too different from installing the Borla on the GTI. A couple hangers, honestly a total of 4 hangers. There's 2 in the mid-pipe section. And then of course there's 2 individual hangers that hold up the muffler, or the briefcase muffler, or whatever you want to call it. So that part was a little bit difficult, removing those, because obviously they're symmetrical, and there's only so much wiggle room to pull out the hooks that go right into the hangers from the muffler. So that was, I think, the biggest challenge. And the second biggest challenge was actually removing the factory valve controller. Now I'm going to mention that again. I'm going to mention the factory valve controller a little later on in the video when I kind of talk about my slight issue, and this is with the installation, not the actual exhaust. And this is just something for you guys to look out for. Again, this is really not nothing to do with the Remus exhaust. This actually has something to do with installation, and the reason why I want to mention it is because I don't want it to happen to you guys. So anyway, so yeah, installation, really not bad. It took me about an hour, and that was really with a lot of dawdling and stuff. I was not really, I could have gotten, I would say probably the quickest I could do this exhaust installation probably be 45 minutes at my skill level, which is still pretty slow. So again, I think you guys, anyone could really do it faster. I had a lift too, which was really nice, but I don't think you need to do it on a lift. You can obviously do it on drive-up ramps for the rear end, or just jack up the rear. Either way works. It's not super long. In fact, it actually, you'd be surprised when you pull out the factory catback how short it is. It's actually not very long. So that's nice. But it is all one piece, and you probably can't fit it in the back of your Golf R if you go to a shop. You're probably going to need a bigger car to bring it home, or if you just want to leave it at the shop, I don't blame you. So that's probably one of the reasons why I recommend doing it yourself, or doing it with someone you know, just so you can leave your catback, because there are probably a lot of people who are wondering, after you do that installation, whoever shop you go to, you really won't be able to fit the stock catback in the back of your car. Believe me, I've tried. So yeah, that kind of covers installation. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to leave it in the comments. So now we'll jump kind of right into impressions. So when I was buying this exhaust, I really didn't think, there's 2 things I was not really trusting, and actually maybe 3 things, but we'll count 3 things. So the first thing, I wasn't expecting this exhaust to be this loud. I've heard a lot of really good things about Remus, and typically with these 4-cylinder exhausts, you don't want it to be too loud, or it just sounds poorly. Now that's the opposite. That's what I was kind of not really expecting with this Remus, is it's a perfect blend of loud and good sounds. It's not over the top. It's not buzzy. I'm gonna probably compare this a lot to Borla, and you guys are, I know there's a lot of people that I've recommended Borla to, and I think Borla's the best bang for your buck, and I still will believe that. But as far as sound quality, because believe me, I've done the whole kit and caboodle with Borla. I had, I resonated, non-resonated. Guys, I had a lot of variations with the Borla. So overall, the Borla was great, but this is just, I never really would have expected these premium level exhausts to sound this good, and personally, because I've never really driven any, I've been around a few, like Miltech for instance, but I mean, it's amazing. amazing how different this sounds from the GTI when the GTI just had the Borla. So catback to catback, it's remarkable how loud this can be just for a standard catback. This is a non-resonated catback, so I guess that will help, but my Borla was also a non-resonated catback with an even smaller muffler. Now, the thing is, this is obviously a valve catback, so this is the next thing I'm going to bring to. So the next thing I was thinking was, I wasn't really trusting valves being that effective. I thought it was going to be a little difference. It's a pretty noticeable difference. The car doesn't have that annoying drone when you're kind of really at wide open throttle when you lift off. It doesn't have any annoying, you know, if you want it to be annoying, leave it in race mode. You can definitely do that. But obviously comfort mode really helps, and comfort in any mode that isn't race mode or your individual setting if you have engine sound turned on, because engine sound controls the valves. And guys, let me tell you, it is so unbelievably loud with the valves open, and it's pretty quiet with the valves closed. And I personally never would have ever guessed that the valves are going to make this much of a difference, but I have the valves closed and I can't even really hear it. I really can't. I just hear kind of the standard road noise that a Golf R would, you know, it's the sound deadening is really good in these cars, but you know, this is the same kind of noise that I'd hear normally. So kind of just to show you guys a little bit of a before and after. So we'll put it in race mode, and it's loud. It's much louder. Now you guys are probably gonna still laugh at me, and this is actually I'm gonna turn this down. I'm not gonna turn it fully off yet, but I actually will turn pretty much. I might completely kill it, but my sound actor, I'm gonna probably turn that off. It's not that it's you know, it sounds poorly. I think it sounds good, but now that I have an exhaust, there's no need for that fake sound. But yeah, it is still on, and but it doesn't matter, because you guys, I'm gonna give you a quick little DSG fart because it just sounds so unbelievably good. Here we go. That's a catback making that sound. Are you kidding me? That's so loud. And oh man, it just sounds so good. So that's another thing. That brings to the third thing that I was worried about. So the third thing I was not really, you know, and that doesn't necessarily go for exhaust, it actually goes for this specific car. The facelift Golf Rs obviously got a 7-speed DSG if you opt for the DSG. So this DSG reacts and sounds different from the 6-speed. This 6-speed pre-facelift S3 and Golf Rs, DSG farted or burped way louder than these cars stock. So I would, you know, when I put the exhaust in, I was like, I can't imagine this can't have any like form of DSG fart. I think it's going to be a burp. You know, it's not going to sound that good. You know, but I want to make the car louder anyway. So once I finally put the exhaust on, and I had one of the boys who was helping me put the exhaust in, I had him drive it out. You guys saw that video probably. That's the installation video. He drove it out, and I heard it at wide open throttle, and this thing sounds awesome with the DSG farts. It sounds so good. I got blown away, absolutely blown away, and oh my god, it's just amazing. It just sounds so unbelievably good. And it's just a catback. I can't imagine what it's going to sound like with a downpipe. It's probably going to be extraordinarily loud. And at that point, I'd probably opt for the Remus resonator, which if I go downpipe, I'm going to spend a couple hundred more and get a little resonator just to put in the mid-pipe section. It'd be an easy bolt-on, bolt-off. Of course, it just replaces the straight pipe section that Remus offers with the non-res catback. So pretty easy installation. I'm not going to go with vibrant just because I just want to stay Remus. In fact, I could have gone all Borla, but I didn't. That's why I went with the vibrant ultra quiet resonator. I have a lot of good things to say about that resonator. It made the cars like sound perfect to me. But you know, once the downpipe comes, it's definitely going to be a resonator. But that's if the downpipe comes. I really gotta consider that stage 2. But yeah, so those kind of the things the main concerns I had, as a lot of you guys probably share my same concerns, or at least one of those concerns you may share with me. So hopefully that clears everything up. This car sounds awesome. I'll give you guys another rip. Here we go. It's so loud. I really hope this camera's picking up those DSG farts. It sounds so good. So good. And of course, course, when you turn the valves, well, when you close the valves, you actually can't really hear them. Even if you put the drivetrain into race mode, you still can't hear the DSG farts with the valves closed. It's amazing the difference. So yeah, I mean, if you guys are looking for something that you're, you know, if you're like me and you have a Golf R or an S3, and especially in the case of the S3, if you want to keep it kind of classy, you know, definitely opt for the valves. They are going to save you some relationships. Let's just say that, like, your neighbors are gonna love you if you have valves. So it's really, really nice to have valves. Valves. That's all I'm gonna talk about. It's just I just recommend valves for this type of car. I really do. So especially for a 4-cylinder too. You don't always want to make it, you know, the most loud car. And sometimes it's nice to turn it off and, you know, not have to hear the loud exhaust. But yeah, so anyway, so now I guess we'll kind of talk about some experiences maybe. So I guess we're going to talk about the one little issue that I have currently, and this is actually with the setup, and this is something I want you guys to keep in mind because this could happen to you. So when I was moving the factory valve controller from the OEM Catback to the Remus Catback, the installation wasn't too hard. However, you guys want to make sure, I'm pretty sure you're supposed to have your valves open and clockwise, so in that case I believe that means open, and that's obviously once you place the black valve controller. It's this plastic piece that goes right on the muffler, or the you know, right over essentially the valves. You want to make sure it's in the right position. When I installed the driver's side, I don't think I had it on the right position, and either that or when I also installed it, a screw kind of broke, or one of the bolt-on sections kind of broke because I was trying to just reposition it, I suppose. It is kind of cheaper plastic, so just be super careful, because now what I'm dealing with, and this sounds completely crazy because I said a lot of good things, what you're hearing right now is only the exhaust in like partial open, partial closed, because every single time I'm on throttle, the valve on my driver's side closes, and I think that's just from a poor connection from me. It has nothing to do with the exhaust. It's actually completely Volkswagen and just the OEM controller, and just honestly not Volkswagen. It is my fault. I will take ownership in this. I did not do a great job installing these valves and or installing the valve controller, and that's honestly why I have these valves opening and closing all the time. Yeah, honestly, it's a great exhaust. I highly recommend it. I'll also leave a link to where to buy this exhaust, because actually in my installation video, a lot of people were asking, so I'm just gonna put that in the top of my description, so check it out there. With that said, thank you guys so much for watching the video, and I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out.